A neurotransmitter, also called a synaptic transmitter, chemical transmitter, or transmitter, is the chemical released from the presynaptic axon terminal that serves as the basis of communication between neurons. Postsynaptic potential, a local potential that is initiated by stimulation at a synapse, can vary in amplitude and spreads passively across the cell membrane, decreasing in strength to time and distance. Excitatory postsynaptic potential, or EPSP, a depolarizing potential in the postsynaptic neuron that is caused by excitatory connections. EPSPs increase the probability that the postsynaptic neuron will fire an action potential. Synaptic delay, the brief delay between the arrival of an action potential at the axon terminal and the creation of postsynaptic potential. Inhibitory postsynaptic potential, or IPSP, a hyperpolarizing potential at the postsynaptic neuron that is caused by inhibitory connections. IPSPs decrease the probability that the postsynaptic neuron will fire an action potential. A chloride ion is a chlorine atom that carries a negative charge because it has gained one electron. The spatial summation is the summation at an axon hillock of postsynaptic potentials from across the cell body. If this summation reaches threshold, an action potential is triggered. Temporal summation is the summation of postsynaptic potentials that reach the axon hillock at different times. The closer in time the potentials occur, the more complete the summation. Exocytosis, the process by which a synaptic vesicle fuses with the presynaptic terminal membrane to release neurotransmitter in the synaptic cleft. V-snare, specialized protein anchored in vesicles or anchored to vesicles to aid their fusing to the presynaptic membrane to release neurotransmitter. A T-snare is a specialized protein anchored to the presynaptic target membrane to bind V-snares to dock vesicles, making them ready for release. Synaptoptegumen is a specialized protein that responds to calcium ions to trigger vesicular exocytosis. A botulinum toxin is a toxin that cleaves snares, disabling neurotransmitter release. Tetanus toxin is a toxin that cleaves snares, disabling neurotransmitter release. A ligand is a substance that binds to receptor molecules such as those on the surface of a cell. Acetylcholine, or ACH, is a neurotransmitter produced and released by parasympathetic postganglionic neurons, by motor neurons, and by neurons throughout the brain. A receptor molecule, also called a receptor, is a protein that binds and reacts to molecules of a neurotransmitter or hormone. Endogenous ligand is any substance that is produced within the body and selectively binds to the type of receptor that is under study. Exogenous ligand is any substance that originates outside the body and selectively binds to the type of receptor that is under study. A curare is an alkaloid neurotoxin that causes paralysis by blocking acetylcholine receptors in muscle. A bungarotoxin is a neurotoxin from the venom of a banded krait that selectively blocks acetylcholine receptors. An agonist is a molecule, usually a drug, that binds a receptor molecule and initiates a response like that of another molecule, usually a neurotransmitter. An antagonist is a molecule, usually a drug, that interferes with or prevents the action of a transmitter.